Okay, so this is the apologies for the moving camera. So it's the 4th of June 2020. It's about 7 p.m. in the evening, and I've just finished a journey. We've just had dinner, and I did a journey after dinner. And the journey is asking for help to release my control so that there can be more freedom in what I do. The journey was a journey. It started in the lower world. I met my bear in the tunnel. This time my bear was wearing rollerblades and picked me up, and we rollerbladed down the tunnel, and then we stacked it in the tunnel on the rollerblades and had a very good laugh. And then came out into my landing zone in lower world and immediately met there my deer, who said, and we agreed with coming on the journey. And then my wolf was there, and my wolf's never been on a journey with me properly, and Wolf came as well, and off we went and we walked. So let's think what happened. We walked, and as I walked through a field, and there were like loads of butterflies, and the sun was shining really high, and there were butterflies, and there was sort of sparkles like fairies or something, I don't know, going off with sparkling, and there were like hearts appearing, little hearts where the butterflies were fluttering around, and it was very gorgeous, very Disney, very cute. And then I went from there, and I went to a lake. I saw a lake, and I dived into the lake, and I swam around in the lake for a little while. Couldn't really work out what was going on in the lake. I knew that Bear was right with me, though. I couldn't feel the others. And then Bear, I think, got a boat, and we jumped into this little boat, and next thing I knew, we found ourselves at the shore. And then from the shoreline, started a walk, and the walk took me along some really big cliffs. And as I was going along the cliffs, I was walking on the edge of the cliffs, and I was aware of how scared of heights I am, and I was aware of my need to really confront my fears, and to go to the edge, and walk on the edge of the cliff. And then I went up. I got called to go up, and I went up, and as I went up what isn't really familiar to me as Wollumbin, and got sort of to the top. Bear was still there, deer was still there, wolf was still there in the background, and I was called to go and sit right close to the edge, and it was just this huge drop underneath me, but there was a sort of a fence, like, you know, a couple of posts with something across, and I sort of sat right by that with my legs on either side of the post and sort of looked over the edge. Usually I'd be terrified to do that, and I was called to stay there. Something was nudging me to stay there. I couldn't work out what it was. I think it might have been Bear nudging me to stay there, and I wasn't sure. And then I said, look, you know, who are you nudging me to stay there? And I was aware that I really needed to stay there with all the fear, and stay there right by the edge until it went away. And that's what I was hearing at that moment. But then as I'm up there, I turned around and I said, like, you know, what animal are you nudging me? And he said, I'm a hippo. And I looked over there, and there was a hippo like sitting right next to me. And I said, what are you here for? And the hippo said, well, I'm here to, you know, to be with you here. And I said, can I hug you? And the hippo said, yeah. And so I hugged the hippo, and I said, what are you doing on the top of the mountain? Hippos can't go to the top of mountains. How did you get up here? And he said, well, you think you know everything. Of course I can come up here. I can do anything I want. The hippo then really was sort of slightly piss-taking me about me thinking I knew everything. And obviously I didn't, because the hippo was up there next to me. Then hippo kind of went, and I was lying there, and it was like a flat rock right by the edge, on the flat rock. And then the crows came, or the vultures, and they came, and I was lying there, and they started to eat me. They started with my stomach, and then this bunch of vultures just ate me, or crows just ate me. I think it was crows, yeah. They just ate me. and they ate me all up. There was like nothing left and just pecked me out into little bits and then flew off. And when they flew off, the crows formed the shape of a big crow, and then the whole pack of them or flock of them formed the big crow, and then they flew up, and then they turned around as the big crow, and then the big crow that they were came into the rock and spewed me out, and I was whole. And I was there, and I wasn't scared at all. And I said to Bear, "Is this okay?" And Bear was like, "Yeah, this is fine, man." And I said, "Right, it's time for us to go back down." And it was a long walk down. It takes a while. And on the way down, we were talking about dying every day, dying, and just being reborn, but dying, just being there and being taken. And then came down, back to my, took ages, back to my landing zone. Said thank you to my animals. I should say that when I first landed in the landing zone and I saw the deer, the deer said, "Can I come with you?" "Yeah." And I said, and Wolf was there, and I said, "Wolf, are you coming?" And Wolf said, "Oh, I wouldn't miss this one for the world," which is beautiful. And then I came out. I stayed down there, and then I just came out of my tunnel.